Well, guys, I don't know if this Corvette looks familiar or not, but we have a new yard ornament because I don't think it's going to ever run again. I mean, it's total. Look at it. All right, guys, we're in the middle of it, all right? So G came up here, Midnight C5, for us to get a tune on his Corvette. Unfortunately, we found a significant amount of issues, and he decided that if we could do it quickly and nicely, emphasis on the quickly, not so much on the nicely. My stipulation is I will never do a job if we cannot make it look nice. And there's no point. Why would you want to put your name on shitty work? So, we tracked down a Term X Max for his car. And yeah, we went ahead and snatched the intake, deepened the body harness and stock PCM. And here's what we're left with. All the way from the fuse box. Everything's cleaned up, relume taped, ran nicely. Starting to run our Holley wiring, BCM, PCM, and ECM. This is our alternator harness. We just got to go ahead and get that wrapped up, and it'll connect down by the starter. Come around. As you can see, there's not really a whole lot of wiring you see any longer. So we're going to go ahead and button up the alternator wiring and jump inside the car and get the Holley routed. Here's the final harness reveal on the stock ECU trim down. That is all the wiring that you see that is stock. That's it. Just our alternator plug, our fuse box, and this tucks behind the fender. That's it. No more. Well, sometimes things don't go to plan. The C5 came in for a tune on the stock ECU, however the ECM was locked and had some other issues going on. So the easiest solution was to just go standalone. However, we do things the right way. We're not just going to unplug the harness and leave it there. So we went ahead and depinned the factory harness all the way back to the ECM, PCM, BCM, and retained only what's needed for function. So the whole harness has been thinned out, gone through, relumed, tied up, and depinned all the way back to the fuse box. Here's our fuel pump trigger for the Holley. So we'll go ahead and separate the fuse box, pull the pin. This is our fuel pump fuse for our factory trigger, and go ahead and set the Holley to trigger that. And then from there, these are our battery connections for the Holley. We've got to get our coils back in and plugged in, go ahead and get our injector harness done, and then finish out making our pedal harness, finish terminating our transmission harness, and we're good to go. The 4L64L80 Holley part number doesn't work on a C5 Vette as it's a rear transaxle car and transmission, so the harness is far too short. No big deal. We keep shielded wires in stock, so we have our shielded pairs for our VSS and our turbine speed sensor. So all we got to do is get these wires terminated into that harness to extend it, and then go ahead and finish luming everything up, run it into the car through our grommet down here, and we can go ahead and test everything out. Hopefully go get a test drive here soon.